Have you ever wondered why some people pull away the moment things get emotionally close? They might seem calm, strong, independent, but the second real intimacy begins, they start to distance themselves. They might say things like, "I just need space. I'm not good at relationships. I don't really need anyone." But beneath those words is something deeper, a hidden emotional pattern that silently runs their relationships, friendships, and even how they see themselves. This pattern is called avoidant attachment, and understanding it might just explain why so many people find love and then run from it. In this video, we're going to break down what avoidant attachment really is, where it comes from, what physically happens in the brain, how it shows up in adult life, and, most importantly, how to heal it. Attachment begins in the earliest years of life. It's not about romance or adulthood. It's about how we learn to feel safe with the people who cared for us. Imagine a baby crying for comfort. A securely attached caregiver picks them up, soothes them, and helps them feel safe again. Over time, the child learns, when I'm scared or upset, someone will be there. That's how secure attachment forms. Now imagine a different story. A baby cries, but the caregiver is emotionally distant. Maybe they respond with irritation. Maybe they say, "Stop crying, you're fine." Maybe they're physically present, but emotionally disconnected, scrolling on their phone, avoiding eye contact, or freezing when the child expresses distress. In this environment, the child's brain learns something very different. When I show emotion, I get ignored. If I reach out, I get rejected. It's safer to rely on myself. This becomes avoidant attachment, a psychological defense where emotional closeness feels unsafe. The child stops seeking comfort. They appear independent, but deep down, they've just learned that vulnerability leads to pain. Over time, that self-protection becomes automatic. Even as adults, the moment someone tries to get emotionally close, their system, both mind and body, activates that old childhood rule. Don't get too close. You'll only get hurt. Avoidant attachment isn't just emotional, it's neurological. Inside the brain, several systems work together to regulate closeness and threat. The amygdala, the alarm system. The amygdala detects emotional threats, like rejection, conflict, or loss. In avoidant individuals, the amygdala is hypersensitive to cues of emotional dependency or closeness. When intimacy increases, the amygdala quietly fires off signals of danger. The prefrontal cortex, the emotional regulator. The prefrontal cortex steps in like a strict parent saying, "Stop feeling. Control it. Shut it down." This creates emotional suppression. The person doesn't seem upset, but their brain is working overtime to suppress emotion. The anterior cingulate cortex, the bridge between emotion and empathy. This region helps you feel connected to others' emotions. In avoidant individuals, studies show it can be less activated, meaning they might struggle to sense or mirror emotional closeness. The nervous system, the body's role. Avoidant attachment also involves the autonomic nervous system. When intimacy feels threatening, their body triggers a mild fight or flight response. Heart rate increases, muscles tense, breathing shallows. Instead of moving toward the other person, like an anxiously attached person would, they deactivate. They pull away, detach, or shut down emotionally to calm that inner stress. In short, their brain and body aren't trying to be cold. They're trying to stay safe. What we see as emotional distance is really the body's way of saying, "Love feels dangerous. Protect yourself." As adults, avoidant attachment becomes a pattern, not just in romance, but in friendships, family dynamics, and even how they see themselves. Common behaviors include pulling away when someone gets too close emotionally, downplaying their feelings, saying, "It's not a big deal," or "I don't care," avoiding vulnerability, especially around conflict or stress, ending relationships suddenly, sometimes without clear reasons, feeling drained or annoyed when others express too much emotion, having a deep need for personal space and independence. They may present as confident or self-sufficient, but beneath the surface is a deep fear. If I depend on someone, I'll get hurt. Interestingly, avoidant people are often drawn to anxiously attached partners, those who crave closeness. This creates the famous push-pull dynamic. The anxious partner chases, the avoidant partner withdraws. Both end up feeling misunderstood and unloved. It's not that the avoidant person doesn't care. They care so deeply that their system can't handle the risk of being hurt again. So they retreat into emotional safety, independence, control, distance. But the trade-off is loneliness. They avoid the very thing they need most: connection. Inside an avoidant person is a constant war between two needs: the attachment system, which craves closeness, intimacy, and emotional warmth; the defensive system, which equates closeness with danger. This is why avoidant people often feel numb or confused after breakups or emotional moments. They don't feel sadness right away, because their brain suppresses it. But days or weeks later, the emotions crash in, often as anxiety, fatigue, or emptiness. They might think, "Why do I feel nothing?" But that numbness is the pain. It's a sign their emotional system has learned to shut down before it can even register loss. Avoidant attachment isn't a lack of emotion. It's an overload of emotion that's been buried so deeply that even the person themselves can't find it anymore. Here's the truth. Avoidant attachment isn't permanent. It's a learned defense. And like any learned behavior, it can be unlearned with time, self-awareness, and safe relationships. Here's what healing looks like. Awareness comes first. Start by noticing your patterns. When do you withdraw? When do you downplay emotion? Just noticing these moments without judgment begins to rewire awareness in the brain. Learn emotional language. Avoidant people often struggle to name feelings, a condition called alexithymia. Journaling or therapy helps reconnect with emotional vocabulary: anger, sadness, fear, longing, all the words they were once told to suppress. Practice small vulnerabilities. Don't force deep emotional leaps. Start small. Share a fear, a disappointment, or a hope with someone you trust. Each act of openness teaches the nervous system that vulnerability can be safe. Rebuild safety in relationships. Choose partners or friends who are securely attached, those who respect your need for space, but still show consistency, empathy, and patience. Secure relationships act as corrective experiences that help rewire the brain for connection. Somatic and attachment-based therapy, approaches like somatic experiencing, internal family systems, IFS, or emotionally focused therapy, EFT, help integrate body awareness with emotional regulation. They target not just thoughts, but the felt sense of safety that's missing in avoidant attachment. Reassure yourself, healing avoidant attachment isn't about becoming needy. It's about realizing that dependence isn't weakness. Connection doesn't erase independence, it strengthens it. Avoidant attachment isn't about not caring, it's about being scared to care too much. Because at some point, caring deeply hurt. But the more you learn to stay present when your instinct says, run, the more your brain rewires itself to see love not as danger, but as safety. Each time you stay open, your amygdala quiets. Each time you share honestly, your body feels a little safer. And one day, love stops feeling like a trap and starts feeling like home. If you like this content and want to see more, hit the like button and subscribe so more people can see this. Also, comment down below, have you ever felt avoidant attachment?